Why I let my baby suck her fingers and why you might want to as well. It all started when my daughter was just about 2 months old. That's when she discovered her fingers, and from that moment on, they became her little source of comfort. I was out with my baby. I got chatting with another mum I'd just met. She seemed lovely until she started glancing repeatedly down at my baby. I could tell something was bothering her. She'd ask me a question, then her eyes would dart back down to the stroller. Then back to me. Again and again. Until finally, she blurted out, "Don't you think you should stop her from doing that?" I smiled and said, "Oh no, I'm not worried." She finds it comforting. She's been doing it for weeks. And then came the real question, but what about her teeth? Aren't you worried she'll need braces later? Now, as someone with a background in child development, I kind of saw that one coming. It's a super common concern. So let's talk about that. The truth about finger sucking and teeth. Yes, extended sucking, especially past the age of 4, can affect the shape of your child's jaw or lead to dental misalignment. But here's the thing. Most babies stop sucking their fingers on their own, somewhere between age 2 and 4. Long before it ever becomes a dental issue. And in the meantime, finger sucking offers some amazing benefits for their development. In fact, in many cases, trying to stop it too soon can do more harm than good. So I gently explained this to the mum at the park. If she's still doing it when she's 4, we'll address it then. But right now, it's completely fine. The germs debate. Her next question came almost immediately. Aren't you worried about germs? I mean, she touches things and then sucks on her fingers. Isn't that dangerous? It's a fair concern, especially once babies start crawling around or heading off to daycare. But here's what's fascinating. Research has shown that early exposure to germs within reason can actually help a child's immune system mature. One study by Lynch, Sears, and Hancock's found that children who sucked their thumbs or bit their nails were less likely to develop allergies later on. So no, I'm not panicked about the occasional germ. It's part of how her immune system is learning and growing. How finger sucking helps with eating. So let's dive into it here, because this might change the way you think about your baby's habits. Babies are born with a strong gag reflex. It's their built-in safety mechanism to stop them from swallowing anything too big. In the beginning, this reflex is triggered by anything touching the front part of the mouth. That's why babies often gag when trying to latch onto a nipple, bottle, or even when they first suck their fingers. But here's the cool part: the more your baby explores with their mouth, the further back that gag reflex moves. Sucking on their fingers helps desensitize the front of the mouth, slowly shifting the reflex toward the back where it needs to be for them to eat solids safely. If that reflex doesn't shift, mealtimes can turn into a gag fest, with food constantly getting spat out. So, by letting them suck, you're helping prepare their body to handle new textures, tastes, and eventually, real food. Tongue and jaw development. Now let's talk about motor development, especially the jaw and tongue. When your baby puts their fingers in their mouth, they're not just sucking, they're learning. Each time their fingers touch the side of their tongue, the tongue automatically shifts toward that spot. At first, it's a reflex. But with time, it becomes a learned, controlled movement. This side-to-side tongue control is critical when your baby starts to chew. They need to move food around the mouth from the center to the side, chew, then back to center to swallow. All that starts right here, with finger sucking. Sensory exploration. Mouthing also gives babies a way to explore the world through texture, taste, and temperature. It's how they start to understand what's safe, what's interesting, and what to expect when new sensations hit their mouth. This kind of sensory experience is essential for building brain connections and helps reduce feeding aversions later on. So, instead of being shocked when something unfamiliar touches their lips, they're more likely to accept it calmly. Sucking for comfort and self-soothing, but the benefits don't stop there. Finger sucking is one of the best self-soothing tools your baby has. It lowers their heart rate, helps regulate breathing, and even reduces stress hormones. That's why it's recommended during mildly painful procedures like vaccinations or blood draws. Yes, pacifiers can work too. But here's the kicker: babies can lose their pacifier. And until about 7 months old, they usually can't put it back themselves. So you end up being the pacifier butler all night long. But are babies sucking on their own fingers? They can always find those. Which means they can soothe themselves anytime, anywhere. And that leads to less crying, better sleep, and more peaceful moments for everyone. Teething relief, and let's not forget about teething. That frustrating, fussy phase where it feels like nothing helps. Well, finger sucking does. When babies suck their fingers, they naturally apply pressure to their gums. That pressure can help relieve some of the pain caused by erupting teeth. And since babies often start teething before they can reliably hold or chew on a teether, their fingers are the perfect built-in solution. No need to buy dozens of teething toys or search the house for that one frozen ring. Your baby already has what they need right at their fingertips. Final thoughts. So next time someone gives you that concerned look or unsolicited advice about your baby's finger sucking, just smile. You're not creating a dental disaster or raising a germ magnet. You're supporting your baby's natural development, building their sensory world, and giving them tools to cope and grow. And if they're still sucking their fingers past 4 years old, that's when we can gently work on weaning the habit. Until then, let them explore, soothe, and thrive. Thanks for watching, and remember, you and your baby are doing just fine.